Well, that was Maggie Wilkins' last words spoken directly to her former teacher, Knodel, at the West Fargo School Board meeting tonight. A man who she said she allegedly had a sexual relationship with when she was in high school. Thanks for joining us tonight. The West Fargo teacher was acquitted by a Fargo jury in June of having a sexual relationship with Wilkins in 2009. Tonight, he was reinstated by the school district and will receive his pay from being suspended the past year. Valley News Team's Krista Boehm explains why the board voted to bring Knodel back.
Maggie Wilkins and her family looked on as the board unanimously voted to allow Knodel to be a part of their school district again.
Anyone who knew me before Knodel decided to, quote, help his at-risk student would say I was a much happier person and would have been better off without his, quote, help.
Her first time speaking publicly outside the courtroom, this time not proving their relationship, but asking the board not to allow Knodel to change the life of other students in the way hers has.
I have nightmares almost every night, have flashbacks on a regular basis, and because of society's unsupportive point of view, I am often victim blaming myself.
An argument against a teacher her family spoke up for as well, adding that social media has played a hand in making them victims too.
My family has been dishonored by witnesses for Knodel, the media and social media. Indeed, KBLY, whose Facebook link was in the forefront, leading the way to post victim blaming, shaming, and naming.
Despite their words, the board looked at the teacher-student relationships as well-intended, fulfilling a challenge by the school to reach out to a struggling student, acknowledging his lack of limits.
Even though he expressed to us that he had been somewhat frustrated with the amount of time and energy he was devoting to his mentee, he had failed to set limits on when and for how long phone contacts would be acceptable.
A problem the school board says needs to change as society changes with it.
With today's social media, the way things can get around, it's difficult both for staff and for students. I think we are behind the curve as a state and as a district on how we handle these situations, and I think something has to change.
An adjustment that will continue to be discussed after a decision that has changed two parties' lives. Krista Boehm, Valley News Live.
Knodel's reinstatement does have one more step. The state licensing board plans to meet next week to consider his employment status.